Hey guys, Reaver here, back with another Starcraft Broodwar Remastered cast, and today we have a PvT for you between Pandor, who has spawned in the top position here in this rather ugly brown. Unfortunately, I can't red versus blue this, and he is playing against the purple Protoss Doodle. These are two A-rank players. They are the very top of the CPL. The coach, for those of you who don't know what that is, the Coach Pupil League. They practice together on a regular basis. Pandor spends an enormous amount of time in the community coaching and supporting other Terran players. He's a very strong Terran player himself. He plays against Jaehyun on a regular basis and really gives him a good run for his money. In fact, in the not too distant future, there may actually be a best of 3 that he played against Jaehyun that'll be coming to the channel. So if you enjoy watching Pandor play today, you most certainly will enjoy that set as it's coming up quite soon in the future. Doodle is a terrifying Protoss player. He went undefeated in the last season, CPL 8, and is just incredibly strong. I'm pretty sure if he keeps going the way he is, he may hit S rank before too long. So really good player, and also quite a contributor to the community. So I always love watching these two play. I think everybody in the CPL watches them play as well. The 9th season of CPL has in fact just been announced. By the time this video comes out, we'll probably be past or still in the middle of pre-season. After pre-season, I think the first games will probably start happening of the actual season in January. If you want to get involved, learn StarCraft, improve at StarCraft, the Coach Pupil League / CPL is where I went to do that, and where I've learned a lot of what I know about this game, and many others can say the same. I have a link in my Discord below if you would like to learn a little bit more about the CPL. This game isn't specifically cast just because it is CPL season and these two are stalwarts of the CPL. This game is cast because it's going to be a bloody excellent PvT between two really good players. But it just made me think of the CPL because of how big a part of it these two have been over the years. Alright, so enough waffling about that. It looks like we have a gasless barracks at this stage, so with no gas there's no way the factory could be coming up anytime soon, so I think Pandor's setting up for a gasless expansion, and it looks like just a bog standard opening from Doodle. He doesn't seem to be going for the early zealots, so it'll be interesting to see how he responds to the gasless expansion. This does sometimes trigger some aggression from our Terran. There you can see the command center goes up, so he's got his first marine, and I think the zealot does come out now, and this is potentially going to require a little bit of micro from Pandor. I don't know, he doesn't really have anything resembling a zealot type wall, so he would have to micro his 2 marines against this one zealot, so some pressure isn't coming, although he's up to 3 and he could always pull a few SCVs to support. So I don't know what, if any, damage Pandor's going to get done here, so let's see. Doesn't micro them back, they just kind of stood there suddenly. Lost 1 marine there for free. I think that was a little bit of a mistake from Pandor. He's going to lose another one soon, so he's lost 2, he could lose all 3. Yep, he's lost all 3 marines. So now I think the idea for the zealot would be to, oh no, to lose that zealot to the SCV is really tilting for Doodle. I think the ideal would have been to kill the SCV that was building the command center, but the one thing that Pandor did have going for him is he did have this extra SCV in place. He does get his bunker down, and I think he's probably going to be able to hold the incoming Dragoon pressure that we could expect. Pandor, in retaliation to this, sees, okay, well, it was an early expansion from you, so I'm not going to face any pressure myself, so I'm going to do a 1 goon expand, potentially 2 goons. So he confirms the command center. He's taking a few hits. He's actually just running straight in the front door here. I think, again, he's going to probably try and pick up this SCV that's building the command center, but it's already been finished. And he pulls out without taking anything other than shield damage. So good reactions from both players in what has been an interesting start. I always say that this gasless barracks expand is a trigger for a little bit of early action, and we most certainly saw an example of that here now. So how is how's Doodle progressing with his build? It looks like he's getting his robo up, he's getting his range incoming. So we could see observers pretty soon. This map, by the way, Silford, I've seen a Doodle play on this a lot. He's absolutely terrifying with arbiters. He's also a really good player with Reavers. So if you're a Pandor, you can expect a whole variety of different types of weapons to come out of the Protoss arsenal here. Doodle is good with carriers. He's pretty much good with everything that you can play Protoss with, which makes him a really, really strong threat. Okay, so no secondary scouts in here, so he can't see the tech, he can't see if it's quick citadel, he can't see if it's DTs. He doesn't actually know what Doodle is doing at this stage. Going up to 2 factories. So there's usually one of 2 ways the early expand goes as a Terran player. They try and get the command center up as soon as possible so that they can do a 5 factory push, or it's a 3 fact build and they're going into a 3 base. So the eBay is coming up. I think he kind of realized he had to put that up in case it's drops, in case it's DTs. He doesn't have any other kind of detection, so it's 2 facts into eBay, which is pretty solid stuff from our Terran. We can see on this side that it's just an observatory, but also the support bay has come in. So as I said before, this man is terrifying with all kinds of moves, and the move he's going to go for here is early Reavers. And I think because Pandor plays him on a fairly regular basis, he's expecting this. I'll tell you, underneath this is probably a turret. There it comes to try and block the mineral line drops. He's going to try and wall in here with these depots. So he really is on top of the fact. I think this is another turret here, another turret here. So you can see Pandor sensing what's coming and making the necessary preparations, although Protoss will tell you that no amount of turrets is enough against the bloody Reaver. Maybe he's right, maybe he's not, I don't know. But here we go. So it's 2 gates. Reaver from our Protoss. Let's track the shuttle and see what damage he does. I think the Reaver's going to get tracked. In fact, an early move out from Pandor. This is really interesting. So he drops the Reaver down, but this is 3 tanks against just 1 Reaver and a gun. I think he's going to be able to pick this off without too much issue. There he picks it up. Now he's in the catch-22. Does he follow these tanks? The boom goes down. A couple of Marines actually tank the fire so that the tanks don't have to. And it's kind of a 6 of one, half of the other now. Does Pandor keep moving forward to put pressure on? Or does he stay back because of the threat of this Reaver? And he's decided for the latter. He's decided to stay back. You can see only really 5 goons and a couple of observers. There are not too many units out on the field for Doodle at this stage. He's also taken a 3rd, which is relatively unprotected. There's 3 goons here and 2 goons here. So you've got 5 goons and a Reaver and not much else happening here. I lost track of that shuttle. I don't know if it died or what happened to it, but I don't see any damage having been done to Pandor's economy by a Reaver drop. I'm sure he was expecting it. Here come the vultures to exploit that relatively naked base. Nicely done. He does avoid the mines. A couple of them pop, but he picks them off. That was pretty good micro. We're pulling those dragoons out of mine range. Well done again there by Doodle. So both players just firing up their macro. I think Doodle really needs to get his gate count going quickly. He's got 1 observer on the map, so he can scout any potential move outs. And the Reaver and the shuttle threat is, I think, a thing of the past. So the first little bit of the skirmish is now done. It looks like another shuttle has arrived. Potentially the same shuttle. It's difficult to say. Yeah, it could be the same Reaver too. So here we go. So the Reaver harassment is going to continue, and the confidence of Pandor, a sub 8-minute 3rd base. I think he knows at the end of the day, if Protoss is prioritizing robotics over gateways, he's not going to have a lot of units. He's also expanded quite early into his own 3rd. So he's not going to have a lot of units and not have enough units to kill him, especially if he lays mines and has his tanks in the right place. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to expand. I'm going to push my macro position in this game. And honestly, I think that's the right call, putting him in a pretty strong position to really fire up to some serious factory power really early on in this game. So some goons are moving out onto the map. I don't know where their observer is to flank them. So these mines are then going to be a bit of a threat. Oh, how do those mines not trip? Okay, 1 does trip, but he gets away with it. Here's the observer now to support. I hear some tanks. There's only 4 tanks here. But these Reavers are going to make a huge difference. Although one of them got picked off. I think that was great target firing by Pandor. The other one also gets picked off with minimal damage. That was really good trade. Went pretty well for Terran here. He's going to lose all his goons, and I don't think he's going to really profit from that attack at all. In fact, Doodle falls miles behind in supply. It's now 89 versus 73. That was really well dealt with by our Terran. So 54 plays 55. You can see these 2 players are incredibly evenly matched, and that's what makes for really compelling doing. So what is our Protoss up to? He's getting his +1 ground going. He's got 4 gate production. He's adding another shuttle, so he hasn't given up on the shuttle play. A 3rd comsat going up for... no, he's doing comsats all at the same time. So the academy's been added. How many armories does our Terran have spinning at the moment? He's got 1, And that's it. So he's got the one armory for the time being, maybe waiting to get a third gas potentially before going up to double upgrades. Doodle now going, well, in spite of the fact that those trades have gone poorly for me, I backed myself to hold any attacks from our Terran, so I'm going to take a fourth, and it's right on the doorstep of his Terran opponent, which I guess is rife for drops and recalls and all those fun things that can come a little bit later. So shuttle speed is coming in, gravitic booster, so we got faster observer movement. We're getting a citadel. I was going to say we haven't really looked like we're progressing anywhere towards Templar tech yet on the Protoss side, but that's the first signal of the citadel coming up. So we're basically just goons and shuttles, a couple of Reavers. So the Reaver play, this is very, very modern meta. PvT, seeing Protoss play with Reavers, it's APM intensive, it's high skill, and that's why only good players like Doodle are doing it. Alright, so he's floating over the eBay to go, oh, okay, so you have a base here, damn. So these units are here just to protect the establishment of yet another base. So this command center is being built here, and I presume the plan is to float it into the middle here, maybe? I couldn't tell you for sure. So a couple of goons and vultures just have a little bit of a skirmish, and then they disappear, so no dramas there. So a worker transfer is now going to be required to saturate the space. I think he's just getting up a few cannons first to feel secure. This is a really important position for Protoss to have, because they can fly in from here and give a lot of grief. And you can see Pandor anticipating that this becomes a potential weak point for him, adding a lot of turrets to this line and a siege tank and a bunker. So seriously committing to the threat and to block this risk area from the backside of his main base. And he has floated it here, and this is really significant because Terran getting onto another gas is just potentially huge. You can just basically build tanks non-stop, and it's going to make his mech units terrifying. I wouldn't be surprised if he has another armory going. There we go. So the two armories are now up and running, both spinning. Where are we having a skirmish? These colors are not good. Alright, so we did have a drop in here. Unfortunately, the damn purple and brown make it very, very difficult to see shuttles and things like that, but that's my problem, not yours. But as we saw, the fortified position here, I don't think he really got much damage there done at all. Doodle's still behind in supply. There were a couple of depots here. I think it was probably a Reaver drop with a few other units in support, because all he has been making to date is shuttles. He's got a double forge going, so he's keeping his upgrades going. I'm pretty sure Doodle's going to get a Stargate quite soon. If he's going to go into Arbiters, although he seems really, really committed to this Reaver play. So lost those two Reavers from the drop. He just seems like he's planning to reload the gun. And Pandor, expecting this, is just reloading with more turrets. So here come the speed shuttles. Okay, so we're going to see it this time. So it's a double speed shuttle, basically flying over absolutely everything. So dropping a few goons, a zealot. Here comes the High Templar and a beautiful storm in the mineral line, killing easily 4 or 5 SCVs. A lot of them do get away though, in a nice position on this tank, which means the High Templar gets picked off without getting another storm off. There's a couple of goons still are in here. The bunker's here, but there's nothing appears to be inside it because it's not firing. But these speed shuttle drops are terrifying. This speed shuttle is actually still here. So that was unfortunately what we missed the first time around, but our eyes were peeled the second time around. So this seems to be the play. Get the speed shuttles in, fly over the turrets because the turrets can't kill them fast enough, and then simply pick off a lot of units, do a lot of economic damage. And you can see now Doodle for the first time actually goes into a small supply lead because these speed shuttle drops are showing to be effective. And here he seems to be reloading. Wow, I can't find my words. Reloading for another one. Here it comes. And I think he's only got a few vultures and mines here, but he's flying straight in. Is he going for the mineral line? Is this Reavers this time in here? Okay, so it's a Zealot that pops out, and a Reaver, and another Reaver. So 2 Reavers in. The second one pops down a Scarab. These Reavers are going to potentially wreak havoc here in the mineral line. Although that Scarab unfortunately does. That one shoots down a Vulture. He hasn't really got any SCVs, but there he got a few. So 61 SCVs again. Picks it up. The APM is being taxed here from both players. Really, really good shuttle play. Unfortunately, the tilting factor for our Protoss. Okay, so there we got a few as well. This Reaver is still here, having a real good time firing at whatever the hell he wants to. The shuttles are still here, watching the game, going, "Ooh, well, this is fun." And he picks up the Reaver even before he dies. Okay, so the counter here now seems to be laying a few mines. And the limitations that this is putting on Pandor, he's not really feeling too comfortable moving out for obvious reasons, because he's just continuously facing this harassment. Just a couple of cannons protecting what is now a 5th base of our Protoss. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases against a 4-basing Terran. This is beautiful macro, lots of multitasking from these players. It seems pertinent to sort of stay up in this area of the game, because the shuttles simply fly up here, they come here where he has a base and over, and this is why getting the space is so important, because it creates this corridor. I think this is going to become a video title about the drop passage. Okay, oh my god, 4 speed shuttles are coming in here. I've never seen such a dedication to speed shuttle play in all my time of casting PvT. Here we go. We've lost a few shuttles. We haven't dropped everything out. The mines have kind of cleaned up what was here, but there are so many units to tank. What else came out of these shuttles other than zealots? I think it was pretty much zealots. We're hearing the mines trailing these units. There a High Templar got dropped. He stormed a few things. The mineral line here is all but bare. The Reaver's not getting in here. Is he going to fire at a couple of vultures? But he needs to target down these SCVs. There are many ripe chickens here for a plucking, boys. Come on! The Reaver hasn't fired though. He's firing at the vultures again. And I think he's going to get picked off. Nope, that vulture's dead. But the Goliaths now seem to want to tidy this up. This has been relentless play from Doodle. There he gets himself a decent chunk of SCVs. But now the shuttle goes down. I think Pandor's going to build. There's still more zealots in here, but I think more Goliaths is certainly going to be added to the composition. Behind this, we mustn't forget that this is a 7-8 factory Terran player with a lot of econ power. Yes, he's lost a few SCVs there, but he's got so many bases that he can resaturate without too many challenges. There is a 15 worker deficit, which isn't ideal. Doodle has taken no real damage in a head-up engagement. It's just been continuous harassment with units that you could say are relatively free. In other words, a lot of zealots, and then of course the shuttles and the Reavers are not free, but that's where the trades have come in, and I think on the whole they've gone pretty well. And guess what, guys? 4 didn't do the number. Now we need 6. Let's go. This is insane speed shuttle play. 6, 4, let's go some more. And there are no turrets at all. I think Pandor's just run out of gas in terms of rebuilding the turrets. Down go the Reavers, down go the Zealots, down go the Goons. That's what's here. Now the shuttles are just watching as these units are just wreaking heaps and heaps of havoc. Now they're going to start getting into the production, which is really going to hurt Pandor. The shuttles do fly away, so they can potentially go and reload, which hurts even more. These mines are now potentially going to become doing some friendly fire, especially if these Zealots get too close to these tanks. He's pulling the tanks around to do the damage. This has been an absolute masterclass in speed shuttle play, speed shuttle drops. It has been insanely relentless. The tanks are in position. These Zealots are going to get tidied up. Everything seems to be on fire. The command center is raised. There are still Zealots here ripping. Oh, the splash on that poor tank. This Reaver's still here having a good time. He'll probably get cleaned up. One more Scarab will go off, but that's going to be the end of him. There's still a Goon kind of parked over here. How he's avoided all these mines, I don't quite know. It's obviously a pretty lucky Goon. So does he just load it up again? Okay, so Pandor decides, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to move out with my army. You come fight me head on. So all he has is Goons, though. This is the problem. So here come our friends, the shuttles, and they drop down a few Reavers. This is literally Reaver, man. Absolutely 100% Reaver storm, man. There goes the storms on a huge clump of tanks that probably didn't seat up too close together. What incredible storms, and what a well-held counter by Doodle. That was fantastic play. I am really enjoying this PvT. If you're enjoying it as well, please do hit the like button. This is a lot of fun. And there, look, a lot of blue goo as well. So more Zealots powering through. They're going to fight against a couple of Vultures and a Goliath. There's one tank here as well. This game has just been non-stop action. The one thing I have picked up, Doodle seems to be floating a little bit of cash. He probably is having a little bit of a hard time spending all his money. I don't know if he has enough gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus the relentless bloody shuttles. Probably how many robos he has to sustain this build. The double forges are still pumping all game long. And he's got 3 robos. A 3 robo PvT. This is like snow. I think Doodle is a snow imposter, man. This is crazy cool. If you're Protoss. If you're Terran, maybe it's slightly less cool. And look at this APM. He's not playing at the speed of light. He plays at a human speed. But boy, does he play well. Alright, so Goon's getting picked off. A little bit of counter pressure now from Pandor. I think he's getting absolutely fed up with all these bloody attacks. Makes a lot of sense. So pressuring this position, that cannon goes down. This base has still got some minerals at it, so it's relatively healthy. I'm just picking around the minimap to see if there's anything else. It doesn't look like it. We haven't dropped in this base for a while, which is probably giving Doodle some withdrawal symptoms or something. Let's see. Okay, so this is a lot of Terran, man, and there's actually not a lot of Protoss here, so he needs to get out of here. What sort of upgrades have we got? We've got 3-3. That is insane against 2-2. Wow, you don't see that a lot. You don't see a upgrade advantage from Protoss against Terran very often. It's usually always Terran that's leading on the upgrades, but it's 2-2 here, which is unbelievable. And he seems to have stopped at 2-2. He's just committing to the units, probably because of all the harassment. The shuttles are back! What are they doing though? What a game. This one has taxed my casting skills to the max, and I've certainly made some slips here and there, I'm happy to admit, but what a lot of fun it's been. Absolutely crazy. Alright, so he's broken the back here. These cannons are toast, these probes are toast. Still got 66 workers, so he can probably just pull and resaturate. He's moving his units around here. I'm just going to zoom out to see what sort of numbers we have here. We've got about 10 tanks against a few dragoons. There's a couple of storms that are going to help as well. But I think this is going to be very, very close. But it's only goons. And goons tend to just evaporate against tanks. So he backs the hell on out of dodge. And that's the right call. 169 plays 157. Only 47 workers on the Terran side versus 59 on Protoss. Everybody seems to have saturated bases, which is good. Terran was sitting up here to take yet another base to go up to 6 because some of his mining bases are running a little bit low, although this one is still okay. Natural's getting low. Main still has minerals, mainly because of the harassment that's on it. This is still healthy from Protoss. This is very, very low. This is healthy. And I think somebody's going to set up to take this next main. Whoever takes this other main wins. Look at the number of Reavers that are dropped. So many Scarabs. Picks them up, puts them down. So to hold this position, that was really good play. Doodle needs at about 40 at this stage, moving his ground units across to shadow some of these vultures. This game is just absolutely all over the show. A lot of vultures. Every time the tank count's kind of been knocked down, it's been replenished mainly with vultures. We're seeing some Goliaths come in now as well. So he's knocked this expansion attempt down here from the Terran. That was really a nice awareness from Doodle. And I think this is gearing up for another central engagement somewhere on the map. And Reavers are protecting the front door of this house. So unless you've got a Wraith or something that can fly, not such a good idea. He ended up scanning himself. That was weird. Okay, so Pandor tries to take the central position. I think he's targeting down this base because it's the freshest source of income of Doodle and a really, really critical one for him. He denied his attempt to take a base. He's kind of taking this fight head on because the tank count isn't really as high as it needs to be. He's dropped some High Templars in a really good place and basically stormed those 5 tanks so that the HP is really, really low. One more storm and that's pretty much going to tidy that up. Although the Vultures here are doing really, really good work, but it's basically Vulture against Goon. So they pretend to get out of dodge. Another fairly good trade for both sides. This game has been absolutely crazy. Okay, so Pandor moving down again. He really seems to be after this base. I think he understands the significance of knocking down this income for Protoss because he's lost this base. So he really needs another. Doodle in response is setting up bases in multiple places. This is really going to test Pandor's decision making in game. He's going to have to quickly decide, do I go here? Do I go here? Where do I target? What do I knock down? What do I prioritize? Look, guys! Speed Shuttles! How new and unusual! So it looks like he's going to try and squash this army that's been present on the map of Pandor's for a very, very long time. So here come the shuttles, and maybe it's just to give this base a chance, although he's not unloading anything. So that is what we call an anticlimax. Sad. Very, very sad. Okay, so what are you dropping? And he's gone again. It's Reavers. Is it just shuttles? packed with Reavers. Is this real life? One splits off here. Oh, wait, where are you going? Beautiful, beautiful. So you drop a Reaver and a High Templar and wreck this entire base. There were so many turrets here. So what did he just flew in this way? Oh my gosh. I can feel the tilt from Pandor from here. I can feel it. Ouch. This game is literally impossible to cast. There's just so many shuttles and things that are moving. It's not straight up fights. It's not big clusters of units. I mean, that is happening. But these drops in between are just absolutely insane. So what he's basically done is he's become Reaver High Templar man. You haven't seen an Arbiter in sight. You haven't seen the carrier in sight. He's just gone, I'm going to play Reavers. I'm going to play High Templars and Dragoons. You haven't even seen a lot of Zealots at this stage of the game. 160 plays 160. Terran has weathered and absorbed so much pressure and just stayed consciously on the idea of denying and destroying Protoss bases. And I think he's still in a very strong position where he could win this game. If he breaks this base, then Pandor is definitely going to take this down. And considering the amount of pressure he's absorbed, that is going to be a magnificent feat if he does. Plenty of Terran power coming in here to try and knock this base down. He's got a couple of shuttles, a couple of Reavers. Let's see how the Reavers do in the engagements. They're getting a little spares here. They've been picked up again. But this is just... They get out of dodge. This base is destroyed. This base never came up. This base never came up. And this one is running low on cash. In fact, he's got the spotters, so he's able to hit this assimilator. That assimilator is history. If Pandor gets this base, he's going to win this game. And he will have more respect of mine than what he's already got. Because what an incredible amount of shit he had to put up with. And still power through and potentially win this. So where does Doodle go? He's moving a lot of Zealots in here. Maybe he's just going to take this base because there's nothing defending it here. So there are just SCVs ripe for the plucking. I don't know why he's staging them all here. Maybe he wants to attack all in one go before Pandor gets a warning. Although they're all within sight range, so I'm not so sure about this. Meanwhile, Pandor's like, I don't really care. You can attack this base. I'm sitting up here to destroy this. I'm going to send my vultures up the ramp so that these cannons can't get taken down. So he lifts this up, so stops mining here. But vultures are the perfect counter to what is basically a zealot-only composition. So I'm pretty sure he's going to clean that up without too much of issue. That Nexus is gone. And that was absolutely critical. A death hit from a macroeconomic point of view. Because Doodle now has got no money. He has a Nexus and a Dream. Once again, Pandor denies the space. Starcraft always, no matter how fancy you are, no matter how cool your moves are, no matter how well you play, comes down to, can you keep your mining bases mining? God damn, that is a lot of storms. If you can do that, you can win. If you can't do that, you will lose. And Pandor has done an unbelievable job in destroying Doodle's bases here in the late game. He's held onto this Nexus. There's not a lot of money here. He's held onto this. He needs to get some units going. More huge fights. So many storms. Oh my god, the use of storms has been insane. Really good play. 94 plays 87. What a scrap. So a tiny little bit of money here. A Nexus and no probes here. And no Nexus here. Plays a tiny bit of money here. A tiny bit of money here. And that is about it. What a game. What a PvT. This is what PvT is all about. Fighting for your bases. Moving around the map. Making good decisions. Engaging effectively. The storms. Oh my gosh, the storms in this game. The Reaver play, the number of shuttles that have been made, the number of counters from Pandor knocking down bases, the number of times he's had to move back to deal with harassment and then move forward to try and destroy a base, the number of fights in the middle of the map with the storms and the exploding units and the mines and the vultures. It's just been what PvT is all about, man. So that, unfortunately, although I thought I heard him die. Where did he even throw that storm from? Okay, so more dead SCVs, unfortunately. Here he is, moving in again to knock down the space. As I said before, he had a functional Nexus, but no probes. He does move in and storm the crap out of a few vultures, so he's re-established, but it's 25 workers versus 46. Pandor's going to win this game, and I am absolutely blown away, both by the approach of Doodle in this game in terms of this Reaver shuttle storm style and how well equipped Pandor was to deal with it. I think the lesson in this game is to stay calm and to stay focused on the most important fundamentals of StarCraft will always serve you well. I think that's been really, really well demonstrated here by both players, but particularly by our Terran Pandor. Alright, so more shuttles, because, you know, why not? Doodle has 58 minerals. He has got so little money, it's not even funny, and all the spare money that Pandor has is just going straight into killing probes. So yes, he's gonna he can't storm here. In fact, he picks off that High Templar for free, which is a real bonus because he was gonna go and cause some havoc somewhere else, I'm sure. So spotted that just in time. They go back into the shuttles, and where are they going? Let's see. I can tell you now where they're going. They're gonna go here to try and shut down this base because Pandor once again is trying to re-establish some money. So in they come, drops these down, and that's gonna be the end of that SCV. There's no money here, although there's a lot of tanks. All that has to happen is these tanks have to go down and kill this. Pandor's still mining, Doodle's still mining a little bit, but it's just not enough. Alright, so here he comes to move down to destroy this base. This is going to be the killing blow of what has been one of the most interesting action-packed PvTs I've ever had the privilege of casting and bringing to you on my channel. So thank you, Pandor, for sharing replays on our Discords on a regular basis, giving me the opportunity to have a look at them, cast them. It's really, really appreciated. So come on, mate, go and kill this base. That's the plan. Oh, so mine's picking off some High Templars. So he's moved back. Doodle goes, alright, so I've seen the money. I'm not going to give you the pleasure of killing me. You held every single thing I could throw at you and more, and you came out on top. GG to you, Pandor. Fantastic game. I'm Rabbit Variety Broodwar Caster. If you enjoy this game, please do subscribe to the channel. Until next time, ciao for now.